Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Watch World, and today I'm going to be doing a more in-depth review of the Nomos Tangente that I unboxed a couple of weeks ago. So, let's get straight into it. So guys, I hope you are all keeping well and safe. Before we start today's video, a quick wristwatch check as usual. Today I'm wearing the Pagani design Pepsi GMT that I reviewed a couple of weeks back. The more I wear it, the more I have actually begun to love it. Very comfortable on the wrist, love that blue and red combination on the bezel. And the GMT hand has come in very handy when talking to friends abroad, keeping track of their time zones and so on. So about 2 weeks ago I unboxed the Nomos Tangente 101 and it has spent a lot of time on my wrist since then. And I'm now going to give a more in-depth review on how it has been going over the last couple of weeks. So the Tangente that I have here, this was one of the 4 original models produced by Nomos in the early 1990s. The others being the Orion, the Ludwig and the Tetra. It wasn't until 13 years later in 2005 that Nomos would release its next model, the 5th model known as the Tangomat, and then from then on, since then, it has released a further 8 models including the Club, the Zurich and the Lambda, just to name a few. Still, the Tangente is the flagship model for Nomos. This is the reference 101, the 35mm version with no functions and a 43-hour power reserve. The watch has an 18mm lug width and a thickness of just 6.4mm, and this particular watch I have here in front of me was made in 2017. If you are looking for a simple and classy dress watch, I think this is the best way to go. Simple Bauhaus design, I love the font for the numbers, and I also love the small second subdial that this watch has. So since I got it a couple of weeks ago, it has spent a lot of time on my wrist. The watch is performing quite well so far. The movement has been running at around -3 or 4 seconds a day, which I still think is very good for Nomos's in-house alpha caliber that is featured inside this watch. This caliber has 17 joules, it beats at 28,800 beats per hour, so it's a high beat movement, and the movement itself has a thickness of just 2.6mm. You'll know when the watch is fully wound, as it has a strong resistance on the crown. When you try and wind it, if it is already at full wind, you will feel a strong resistance knowing that your watch is fully wound up. So the hands on this watch are what Nomos call cornflower blue, and they say that this colour is achieved by heating them to 290 degrees Celsius. I did not know that before buying this watch, but apparently it is a watchmaking tradition. If that is the case, there's no denying that this watch has an incredible shade of blue for those hands. They look absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, interesting to know that that is how it's achieved, by heating them to 290 degrees Celsius. The white dial is also very clean and elegant. The rings that go around the subdial from the centre to the edge kind of emphasise the simplicity of the actual dial then itself. So the crown is signed with Nomos on it, and the lugs have holes for the spring bars, which make it much easier to remove the strap if you are changing it out for something else. These holes here on the side of the lugs are great when you're swapping out straps or bracelets. You can just push your spring bar tool through that hole and the spring bar will pop out, allowing you to change the strap with relative ease, rather than if there was no holes there on the outside, you'd have to try and fit the other end of the tool in between the inner lug and the strap and try and pull it out that way, and it's a lot more effort and bother. The case itself is made of stainless steel and it is water resistant to 30 meters, which is basically splash resistant, and that's it. But I can't imagine anyone would be using a watch like this for any water-based activities, if truth be told. So I'm not going to do a wrist shot or measurements in this video, as I've already done that in my unboxing that I did a couple of weeks ago. This video is basically to go through some of the things that I've learned about the watch since I did the unboxing 2 weeks ago. So for example, the cornflower blue hands, the holes in the lugs, those kind of things that I never actually noticed first time around when looking at this watch. The strap itself on this watch is made out of Horween genuine shell Cordovan leather, and as I said in the unboxing, it is very comfortable and very soft on the wrist. Great choice of strap Nomos have used for this watch. And then finally we come to the box, which is very nice. It is made out of black poplar wood. Looks and feels very classy and very elegant, especially with that Nomos logo on the top. So there you have it, guys, a more in-depth look at the Nomos Tangente 101. Again, as I said, this was just a video to kind of talk about some of the things that I didn't notice the first time around when I unboxed it, and things that I've noticed as I've worn it more and more over the last couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoyed looking at this watch with me, guys. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button. It really would help out the channel a lot. Until the next video, guys, I hope you have a great week and have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again very soon. Take care for now, everyone.